The Society of Separatists, a militant atheist, the originator of the now famous Supreme Court suit that resulted in the 1963 school prayer decision, and the prosecutor of another suit which would tax all church property in the United States if the Supreme Court ruled in her favor. Also with us tonight is Dr. John Montgomery, chairman of the Church History Department at Trinity Evangelical Divinity School of Deerfield, Illinois, and author of many articles on church history and the death of God controversy. He's also written the book, The Is God Dead Controversy, which I'm sure we'll get into with Mrs. Murray or Mrs. O'Hare tonight. Madalyn has been delayed for a few minutes, but she will be here, that I can guarantee. In the meantime, I'd like to spend a moment or so talking with Dr. Montgomery, who's the chairman of church history, and also an writer of many articles on religious history, and I believe that you are chairman of the Church History Department, and I think I perhaps abbreviated your title somewhat.
Well, that's all right. There's no point in depressing the listeners with too long a title.
Well, let me say this, Madalyn Murray has a very large title, too, and I want to give equal time where it's due. But
the equal time principle extends to that, does it?
Yeah, I want to make sure that you've written many articles, I know, on church history and the death of God controversy, and what do you think of today, in asking ourselves, is God dead? It seems like sometimes a ludicrous question, is God dead? Why here and now, at this point in time, do you think we're asking this question of ourselves?
Well, I think there's several reasons for it. For one thing, Protestant theology has gotten itself in a very bad state as it's moved away from its biblical foundations. As the authority of Scripture has weakened, the doctrine of God has become vaguer and vaguer until finally it's difficult for some theologians to find him at all. I think there's a lesson in this, of course, and it is that if one moves away from Holy Scripture, one gets into serious difficulties all along the line theologically. And then also we're in a secularizing era where people are attempting to be the masters of their fate and the captains of their soul to a far greater extent than ever before. So this comes in very nicely in conjunction with that. And then I think finally this is a period when people sense the death of their own culture in many ways, and this is a kind of projection. At the end of the medieval period, there was a similar sort of thing where people concentrated on the dance of death when their culture was falling apart in various respects.
You mentioned that one of the reasons for the so-called death of God question today is the fact that we have deviated from Scripture. Would we be better off to have stuck with the Scripture?
Definitely, and if we had done this, we would be more on the intellectual main line as well as being more on the theological main line.
So Madalyn is here. Better late than never. Nice to see you.
Well, I almost didn't come. I think I've undertaken a little bit too much these days, and I was so tired just now, I thought, well, I'm going to call you up and say I can't come.
I would have been really disappointed, and I know our listeners would have.
Yes,
here I am.
Madalyn, I want to begin with something I heard you say today, and I may, throughout the night, quote you from various things that people alleged you had said.
That's all right. I probably said it.
The Playboy interview of 1966, I think it was, or 65, and now famous interview. Some other things that you are purported to have said, so if from time to time I quote you, I hope you'll forgive me. One thing I heard you say this morning when you appeared with Jerry Williams from 9 o'clock to 10, and you sort of ended the program with this comment. Not only is God dead, but he is irrelevant. Would you explain that?
Did I say that this morning?
Yeah.
Later on, it seemed to me that what we were saying is that God isn't dead, he's in the White House. Or something like that.
Oh, that's interesting. Some theologians are saying he's in Selma.
Wow. I don't think I said irrelevant. I said, I can't remember right offhand. But what I mean to say is this, that God is so thoroughly dead that it's like beating a dead horse to talk about him anymore.
All right, you did say that, by the way. Use that phrase, beating a dead horse.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Montgomery.
Dead to whom, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious all over.
No, it isn't obvious. That's why I'm asking the question.
I don't think that there has been any question for a long, long time, because I think it's a little over 6,000 to 8,000 years now that there have been arguments advanced as to the feasibility or the possibility or the probability of a god. This certainly was advanced by the Egyptians. It certainly was advanced by the old Chinese cultures, by the Indian cultures, long before your Christian God was ever invented. It was advanced in primitive communities.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?